Hello, recording software. Oh man, I have been slacking lately on this stuff, guys. I have placed some trades, won some trades, but man, have I been slacking in what my potential could be. Back testing, learning through research the fundamentals of cryptos, etc. And I really need to get on it. So paid for a nice hotel stay for myself for the night. Need to kind of get my mind back on track. So let's go through some stuff. I'm just gonna go through the cryptos. Let's start with the main stuff. We have Bitcoin. Geez, I haven't opened this up in like 4 hours. It's at 1800. And we just experienced the most volume in one day ever in Bitcoin. And this daily candle closed 6 minutes ago. So pretty cool. If you guys weren't watching the past few days, Bitcoin was like at 2100. It spiked down to, I think, 1900. Ethereum was down at like 135, and in the last 2 days, Ethereum went from like 160 and its high was 240, and now Bitcoin went from that 1900 2000 price to 800 in just a matter of days. But today being the biggest day Bitcoin has had yet, period. That's pretty cool. I had a source that was predicting right around the 23rd of July would be the start of the rebound, and then into August, which is going to be completely full of volume like crazy. Cryptos are catching fire. So Bitcoin, start off on the weekly. Alright, so the weekly, I just want to go through with you. This is what made me dive into crypto trading as I pulled up the weekly for Bitcoin. You'll hear me talk about one of my confirmations for a trade is when price is chilling above this 10 EMA and it's in an uptrend, and then it puts a railroad or pretty strong candle reversal up against it. So what do I mean by that? So right here we have I believe it's called Evening Star, but this is a type of railroad. This basically engulfs completely this railroad, and it got pretty close to the 10 EMA. We would prefer it touching, but anyways, let's go on. Goes up from there, comes back down, stays above, then does the same exact candle formation but a little smaller, and it started above it and it ended up closing above it as well. And that's a sign for a trade. It started inching its way up, and then it really took off when it had this big engulfing reversal pattern on top of it. Up from there. So here we have that broke up, not getting a good formation yet. It's going down, staying above. While it's chilling above, it goes down, and it's tough to see because it's the scale of it all. But this would count as a reversal, and it started inching up from there. But I wouldn't be sure if I would have gone in that, but here we then have this one, which is perfect, and it goes up immediately from there. Then it creates this one. It's a little more awkward. It still definitely works, especially after this second one in the reversal, second green bar in the reversal, and goes up from there. And so what that is a long-term trading strategy for Bitcoin that has not lost since it started its bullish volume run in early 2016, and it has not lost yet. And we are at the point where it is making probably the strongest, most obvious reversal pattern for that, and that's pretty darn cool. And obviously you have more bullish volume than bearish. They could not, this may not go up right away really quick, but it may come down and retest one more time and let the bears out, but this is freaking the strongest thing I've ever seen. So this weekly candle just has to finish right around the top of the previous candle here, let alone where it's at on Sunday. And if it closes there on Sunday, then and it looks like it's going to keep going up a little bit right around Saturday or Sunday. It looks like it's going to play out. On the daily, we have this pennant. Oh, sorry, this mouse smoothing things weird. We have this pennant. It started with some divergence, and I'll let it retrace a little. If you don't know what divergence is, just research it. It's super useful to know when the bears are going to come in for a little more of a retracement. So it started breaking down, create a little pennant, broke up a little, broke down a little, but there's the bullish volume is too much for them to compete, and when they wanted to come in, they did. Broke above the biggest bearish trend line in the Bitcoin market, and now it looks like it's going to come back down to these EMAs, retrace, and maybe boom from there. Looks good. Let's look at the 4 hour for funsies. I'm not going to take this long on all these. I'm sure that these 4 hour bars are the most volume ever shown on this 4 hour chart like this. I think it's going to come back down pretty soon and look to make one of those reversals here on the 4 hour chart, or maybe go all the way down to the ones on the daily and then make a reversal, and that's when you're really going to see the volume come in. Because I wouldn't have gone into this just because I would have waited for all of these to cross to the upside, so it's no question it's bullish. Alright, let's go through the rest of these now. Bytecoin. I like Bytecoin. On the weekly, you see that when it went up, the bullish volume is like 3 times as much as any bearish volume that came in here. That's telling both the bears and the bulls, oh, the bulls have the power, so just know that going into your sells, boys, that this thing is still bound to go up. And since we got a little bears come in, they've let it take it down a little. The bulls are completely letting them. It looks like they're going to retest this wick right here. So we're waiting for, on the daily, for things to break up a little bit so that these moving averages cross to confirm us it's ready for an uptrend move. It looks like it could come down and make a little W right here, and then it would be divergent as well. Alright, let's go to BitShares. So the weekly, very similar. When it went up a lot, by the way, completely bullish in volume. The bulls were always in control. They're letting them take it down right now. We're doing the same thing as Bytecoin, and that's waiting for some more bullish signs on the daily. Burst. Let's go to the weekly. Went up, once again went up, add more bullish volume. It's come down for retracement, and notice that it's such small volume that if the bulls wanted to try to take it up, they would definitely most likely win. This is how the bulls and the bears work together in the market, so that the bulls are allowing the sellers to take it down and hit their take profits, so that when the bulls are ready to pour in their millions and millions, they want as few people selling in the market as possible, so it's less competition to boost price up. And it's really poetic when you start to see it on the chart. So it's come down, looking for a retracement and a bullish move soon, but right now we're just waiting for bulls to come in a little so that price could get above the 10 EMA there, the red one. Clams. On the weekly, on its latest rise, we saw a lot more. Actually, let's look at the daily because we're a little more specific. So when it went up, a lot of bullish volume. Still a lot of bullish volume. Not much bearish volume. It looks like this thing is getting sick of waiting. The bulls are ready to take it, it looks like. Yeah, there's some decent resistance right there, but it looks like it's going to be ready to break up. But we still got to be patient, wait for it to break above the EMAs, this bearish trend line, etc. Let's look at Dash. Dash is, ooh, look at that scary candle. Alright, let's look on the weekly. Really good bullish rise. When it came down, it was an uncompared bearish volume compared to the bulls. Made a W, broke above, retesting the middle of the W, created a reversal pattern right here, and I would definitely take that as a signal. Sometimes it takes a few candles to get going. Now we're just waiting for a price to stand on that 10 EMA and make its little reversal move. This is a little divergent right here, so there could be a little more retracement, maybe right back here one more time, but it really doesn't look like it's going to break below that point. Digibyte, weekly. I feel like I sped through on Dash. So on the daily you could see more that it came down and made this W, or actually on the daily it's more like a head and shoulders or a triple bottom. This last part of the triple bottom or W was divergent. 3 very, very, very strong wicks right here in this zone. Super telling. I would definitely take this as a buy. Long-term buy, go for it. Digibyte, we're just waiting for a bullish sign on this retracement, but obviously it's completely bullish. This is about to make an even bigger move, as with most of these. Let's go to Doge. Doge, we're waiting for the same thing. Look on the daily, you can tell how many bulls are there and how fewer bearish volume there is. We're just waiting for a move to break above this trend line, some moving averages first. Go from there. I added EOS XBIT8. You guys know. And I'm not seeing anything yet. This was a ICO. Ethereum Classic. Let's go to the weekly. Ethereum Classic came up, overly bullish volume. When it started retracing, the bears don't even compare. Even this week, though it's going down like it is, especially after it made that reversal on the weekly, which is super strong. There's the only reason that that this candle has been decently red so far is because literally no bulls have come in. They're letting the bears do this, and they're ready to take it back when the perfect signs are right. And you could, yeah, and it looks like it'll be soon. It looks like it'll be soon. But it could come down right here for the last retest, and I would wait for a break above on the daily and one of those reversal patterns after doing so and take it. Ethereum, let's look at it. Ethereum USD, since I'm pretty sure this is what is that? Is that the wind? That sounded really cool. So Ethereum is probably 10 times better looking on the chart than Bitcoin. And you could tell just by glancing. Crazy bulls. When price well, the reason this spiked down was because of there's a flash crash on Coinbase. Yeah, somebody screwed up and sold things for the wrong amount of price, like at $12 or something. And anyways, research that. That's the only reason why, but still you could see not many bears at all came in here. The bulls let them. People took profit up here because this is, you know, people got in here at 36. This is 1,000% gain. Come on, guys. Here we're seeing it's trying to make this reversal, and it looks like it will because we already have more bullish volume than any week since right here. And right here it looks like there was some decent bearish volume up here. But looks amazing on the weekly, same as Bitcoin, in that we are waiting for this weekly candle to close right at the top, so we get that Very, very, very powerful bullish signal. Here on the daily, it just made one of those signals a little. Sign that might go up. It looks like it did break this trend line right here. So it looks like this could frickin' boom real quick. But I would say it could still come down one more time. Retest down here. Always allow for that. Always allow for that. But on the 4 hour, it does look like it made a very bullish head and shoulders. Shoulder, head, shoulder for you guys that don't know. And the neckline is bullish in that this broke this lower high right here. This made a newer high. And that's it's a great sign to get in. I know I'm going to be looking for some shorter term trades tonight. Actually, let me see what's going on. I should be looking for a trade right now. I'm going to take a, so I am looking for a trade on the 15-minute. And right now I am just waiting for that reversal pattern to happen. Made this W. It is divergent enough for me. It's pretty close, but yeah. Alright, let's move on. Factum. Let's go to the weekly. Went up. Obvious bulls are in the lead. When it's coming down, bulls are letting them. Hit its first retracement point, so we're looking for some bullish price action. And we're just going to have to wait for a little bit because we aren't seeing the bullish sign on the retracement yet. And you just got to be patient and wait for them to come in. Our goal is to trade in line with the big banks and the whales of the world. I'm sure you guys get that. Alright, folding coin, weekly. Obvious bullish rise as far as volume. This is its first major retracement, and it just hit its first retracement point. And we're just waiting for some more bulls to come in. Genosis, go to the weekly. Oh yeah, this is a new coin. Let's see if I can squeeze this in. That doesn't tell us anything. So this is an obvious uptrend. It made a new high here. New high here. Obvious bullish rise. It looks like it's going to try to make a W right now. Yeah. Watch for this W to be made, and I would say once it breaks this high, I would take it. Other than that, I would just wait for that reversal signal on the 4 hour and daily. But still, we should wait a little more, but it looks pretty promising soon enough. Golem on the weekly. Let's try to squeeze this in. So overall bullish rise, started making this retracement, and we're still waiting for some more bulls to come in because this hasn't even broken the bearish market structure on the daily, which means it's making lower lows and lower highs, like, you know, zigzaggy down. But yeah, we just gotta wait. LBRY credits. All right. So obvious bullish rise, obviously. Here's a weekly. Its first retracement point. Bulls are starting to come in. Starting to make this W on the 4 hour, so let's go to it. Big W right here. Broke above. But there's still some bears there, so I'd be a little cautious. But if it stands firm to right here, this middle of the W, and then, yeah, I'm just going to say keep your eye on it, because this was a lot of bearish volume that came in. And so they could want to take it down one more time. But it did break bullish market structure. It almost did right here on this W, but it didn't break structure. Here on this W, it did. Though it is perfectly allowable to have a bigger retracement than this before continuing downwards. But yeah, just wait for that. Let's go to Lisk. Weekly. What do you guys see? Volume. It's very transparent. Retracement, very simple. Waiting for some more bulls to come in, make a little W, break up. You guys already know. Let's go to Litecoin, another beauty of the market. Start the weekly. Weekly came up. So yeah, first thing you see with the volume is all this stuff. So let's get to that. First, let's go through this. Went up, obvious bullish. Got some contention here in the bearish volume. So we're like, okay, we're gonna let them take it down a little. Then boom, lots of bearish volume. But wait, if there was such a great amount of bearish volume, I'm sure it would have been a little more than this little candle. So let's think about for that a second, and then we'll go to the daily and check that out more. Since then, hit the 10 EMA, went back up, touched a new high. It's messing with it. Let's go to the daily. So let's look at this volume when it started to retrace. It went up, obvious bullish way. We get one candle of like, okay, some bears are here. We let them take it down. Another spike. But wait, it's a smaller candle showing hesitation towards the downside, meaning that this was a place where lots of buyers came in and sellers exiting their positions. And that's what you see right here, is why you see decent volume, is because sellers are exiting their position and bulls are coming in. Holds that obvious bullish volume up, retracement. You see that I did take that trade. And I did take this trade and I lost it. I kind of had a feeling too, knowing that this bearish volume candle was in contention with the bulls right here, and that could have allowed for a more retracement. But yeah, it's still looking very, very bullish. What would I wait for right now if I were if I wanted to get a new inch? One, two. Yeah, I would just say just wait for one more of those daily candle reversals. Even though they didn't work out here, they were kind of smaller on the bullish side and allowed for some bears to kind of come in. But yeah, we would just wait for another break above. But it'll probably be pretty soon. MaidSafe coin. I wrote gross mess here because even on the weekly it's not great, and I don't want to just play the weekly charts. I want to play like the daily, but look how gross this is. So I wouldn't mess with it. Nautilus is this is a weird one, right? This looks like it could definitely be a shit coin. I'm gonna take this off. I'm not even gonna get into it. Let's only look at stuff that looks good immediately to the eye, because that's what the traders and their money are going to hop on board with. Alright, NXT very bullish. Hits first retracement point, trying to make that reversal signal on the weekly. It's awesome. On the daily, we see that on its retracement, the bulls just started to come in. Still need a little break above and a reversal, and I would say that's an entry. Simple as that. Let's see the 4 hour. It might have made a little W. Yes, it did. Made a W, and then you notice that this volume started to come in after it broke market structure, or the middle part of this W. Watch for that. But yeah, this is looking good. We'll probably see reversal right here, and then things are going to dive up. Dive up, that's oxymoron. Alga on the weekly. Bullish rise. They're letting the bears have this retracement. Well, a lot of bears came in here too. Okay, let's go in the daily. It's kind of ugly on the daily. I'm seeing this pretty bullish, but I don't want to play it. It's too long term, and it showed that you could have gotten a signal back here, and it wouldn't have hit your stop loss yet. But it's like 3 months later, and you could have used your money better elsewhere. Let's go to Sia coin. Weekly, obvious bullish rise. When the bulls are letting the bears make this retracement, right? Hits first retracement point lately, and now we're just waiting for some bulls to come in. It looks like they're about to, actually, because why? It made this little W right here, and it just needs to break up above this point. you know, this middle part of the W, and I think you'll start to see some bulls come in a big way. It could go down a little more though, because there were some decent bears right there for sure. Steam. Go to the weekly. Obvious bullish rise. Obvious that the bulls are letting the bears have this retracement. Go to the daily. See some pins already, but it needs to break this trend line before anything. But on the 4 hour, it looks like it just made this W and it's trying to break that middle part of the high, just like Sia Coin. This one's a little more obvious though. So be looking out for that. We'll be seeing a buy pretty soon, I think. Stratus, guys, this is a good one to look into getting to. Obvious bullish rise like crazy. This was its first bullish rise, by the way, so look at the potential. If you want to look into getting here, which I do think is a good entry, just to the previous high is 100% return on investment. Looks pretty good. On the daily, just broke the biggest bearish trend line. See some bulls come in on the volume. It's breaking up, so I would look for, it did do it here, this reversal off of it, the trend line and the EMA. I just want to see these two EMAs cross. Stellar. Finally, we're seeing some bulls come in. Weekly, it's coming down. Had this bullish rise, but there are some bears here. But the bulls are letting them have this retracement. But we're just waiting for a move. And it looks like it'll probably happen here. They'll probably make this W. I think people are sick of waiting. Vericoin, I don't know anything about. Obvious bullish rise. But there's some decent hesitation up there. Yeah. Let's see for sure what kind of... No, this thing's bullish. Okay. I think it is. Sorry, I'm trying to be specific on who won this battle up here. No. I'm just going to skip it because I don't like it. NEM. NEM, when it went up, obvious bullish volume. You guys already know we got to wait for that signal on the weekly. On the daily, we just need a break of market structure of sorts. Yep, that's about it. Monero. It's a little more of that scraggly long-term trading one. The weekly is definitely the best place to trade this because it is more simple, but it's still too long-term for me. There's so much potential in so many of these. I don't want to waste any time, you know. Obvious bullish rise. It looks like it's ready for a rise. It doesn't look like there's many bears at all. Some did come in here, but you know, it's squeezing up. You can see it's making this bullish pennant as well. This one would be a bad entry right now, it looks like, but I don't like it. So weekly on Ripple had the bullish rise, coming down. Need some bulls to come in here, and until then we're just gonna wait. Yeah. And Zcash, the last one. Obvious bullish rise. It's retracement, minimal bears. The bulls are waiting to get in, like us. And yeah, that's what we see on the daily. We're just waiting for some bulls to come in so we could get this retracement. And that's about it, guys. We're in an exciting place right now. See, it's gonna look to make this retracement. You know, or this hasn't touched the EMA in a while. But yeah, cool. Keep analyzing, keep pulling up the charts every day. At least just enjoy being a spectator. I haven't made much money at the moment yet, but it's a pretty darn cool time to be a spectator, let alone what we're doing is spectating at the top level. It's pretty darn cool, guys. I hope you are all having a good summer and not complaining about the sun all the time like everybody seems to be doing. I'm just sick of the negativity. But yeah, be positive, be optimistic, think about goals. I don't think about goals enough. I wasn't raised either to like think about goals for myself and to pursue those medium-term, long-term goals. And so I'm trying to implement that now in my mind to feel that desire, right? That drive. But love you all. Communicate with me. Let me know what you think of the analysis, or how you could see my anxiety slightly spike while trying to talk to you guys. Well, I love you all. Have a good week and be excited for the summer of the cryptos.